this way. I am not that way. Well, you know what? You can be a little bit of both. You don't have to be defined by the labels that society gives you, because you are complex, and that complexity makes you awesome. And this is why I hope that psychology never evolves to a point, like, I mean, even neurobiology, yes, they're mapping out the brain and they're figuring out, oh, these neurotransmitters do this and this part of the brain does that. Be that as it may, you can have a brain doing, you could have two brains doing the exact same thing, neurologically speaking, electromagnetically speaking, whatever. Put them on an fMRI, and their brains could be reacting exactly the same way, but they may have different motivations behind those reactions. And I think that's cool. I think that's awesome. I really hope that psychology never evolves to the point that, oh, somebody did this, therefore that. I fucking hope it never evolves into an IFTTT situation. Because I love how wonderfully complex people are. Not just me. Oh man, I got a sore throat that y'all probably can't hear that well. I'll cap someone. I love just sitting there picking his brain apart. I love the fact that I can't predict what my son will do any given day. I love the complexities because they keep everybody in check. They keep everybody on their toes. And honestly, if enough people, preferably all people, really sat down and took a moment to look at their own complexities, they'd realize that they have no superiority over anybody else. You know, I do my best regularly on this show, whenever I start talking about anything, to say, look, I struggle with this just as much as anybody else. I'm just sharing the struggle. I'm just sharing you my experiences and my thoughts and my techniques. And I hope that they can find their way to somebody who needs them. I really do. But they may or may not work. But what I hope is they find somebody else for whom they work. And, interestingly enough, I also hope they find somebody else for whom they don't work completely, but that person goes, you know what? Let me look into this more and see if I can find something that does work for me. I love complexities. I love both and situations. And I think that's something worth celebrating. So, that's all I have to say about that. So, let's get into the things for which I am grateful. Okay, so, number one, I've got to say this. Okay, so you're hearing this. I'm posting this on a Friday, but I'm recording this on Thursday. So this literally just happened today. Today, Thursday, October 4th, was National Taco Day. And I saw this at about 6 in the morning on Twitter. It was trending on Twitter. And I went, oh my gosh, I should tell my coworker, my Mexican mama, I should tell her. But then I stopped myself because I was like, that's kind of racist. To say it's National Taco Day, bring stuff in, just assuming that she has it ready to go. So, so I get dressed and I get ready for work and I ride the bus to work and, God, I have some, loud fucking cars that go through my parking lot. I'm sorry. So I get to work and I tell my coworkers, it's National Taco Day. And my Mexican mama, she goes, you should have told me. I have taco stuff. I am a Mexican woman. I have taco stuff all over my kitchen, ready to go at any moment. I was like, I didn't want to be racist. She just goes, shut up, white girl. I was like, okay. Love her. Now, kind of a side note to this story is for the past 2 months, I have been craving tacos like you would not even believe. Like every other day, it's, I want tacos, I want tacos, I want tacos, I want Taco Bell, I want nachos, and I want tacos. That's like the thing. And I'll jokingly turn to my coworker, who I call my hummingbird. I'll turn to her and I'll say, you should get your I don't know if it's her boyfriend or fiance, but her other half, his name's Victor. I hope he doesn't get mad at me for saying that. So you should get Vic to bring me some tacos. I'll pay him back, I promise. But I want some damn tacos, man. And Hummingbird will laugh it off. And so anyways, so I tell her, it's taco day. You need to get Vic to bring us tacos. It is just mandatory. If he wants to prove his love for you and his worth with us, he's going to bring us tacos. And she's like, well, I don't know. He's feeling kind of sick. I said, well, okay, never mind then. So we started spending forever trying to figure out, well, fuck, how are we going to get tacos? It's taco day. Everybody wants tacos, 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 tacos. I mean, that was all we talked about at the morning break. So come lunchtime, a bunch of us are so tacoed up that we're like, okay, we're next to a Sonic, so let's just see if we can get, the next best thing. So one of my coworkers got jalapeno poppers, and one of them got chili cheese tots, and I got a chili cheese dog. And anyway, so we all get back, and sure enough, bless him, Victor shows up, or had showed up, with a big box of tacos from Taco Bell. And so Hummingbird just handed them all out to everybody. We were like, oh my gosh, thank you. So I am grateful through Vic today. So awesome. He has just earned my love until the next time I want tacos. No, I'm kidding. I think that's so amazing. Because not only did I get my tacos today, because I had my chili cheese dog and all that from Sonic, I have lunch tomorrow taken care of. Yay me. Becca for the win. So that's the number one thing that I am grateful for. As sort of, actually a few things. I'm grateful for Hummingbird. I'm grateful for Victor. I'm grateful for tacos. And I'm grateful for chili cheese dogs. It's like this whole big thing. I'm just grateful that today happened at all. The second thing for which I am grateful. Oh man, that's so stupid. And so I'll keep doing it. Is I'm grateful for trees. I don't know if I've said that before. I am just grateful for trees. I don't know, they bring me so much peace. And this is going to sound kind of weird and pervy, but whenever I'm feeling really tired or really sad or whatever, I just go and touch a tree. I just go put my hands on the trunk or a branch or something, and I touch a tree. Sometimes I'll touch a bush, but usually it's a tree. And it just calms me down. There's something about that just calms me down. And so I'm very grateful for the existence of trees. I kind of wish that I had more trees around me. I was just talking to my home health aide earlier this evening about that. And we were talking about apartment living versus house living. And, until mid-February of this year, I was living in a little 2-bedroom house, and I told my home health aide, I said, I don't miss the landlord, I don't miss the house itself, I don't miss the neighborhood, I don't miss where the house was, I don't miss the fact that the yard wasn't fenced in. There was a lot I hated about that house. But I miss living in that house because I miss being close to trees. I I had like, on the entire property, I had like 6 trees and a couple of bushes, and there was something about that actually honestly helped my mental health a lot. And in my little apartment here, Jeffrey Thistlework, I don't have a lot of complaints about it. I call it thistle work because this'll work. It's an okay apartment. It's not something I'm like terribly excited about, but it's not something that I hate. What I miss is the trees. I miss not having that feeling of being boxed in by a bunch of other neighbors. I miss, there again goes back to being an introvert. It's not that I hate people. It's not that I never want to be around people. It's just that when I want to recharge my batteries, I like to be alone or with a couple of people that I trust and I adore, and who make me feel good. And I like it even more when there are trees nearby. So, yeah, I am grateful for trees. Number 3, I am grateful for, see, I don't write these out. This is all off the top of my head. I am grateful. This is going to sound really strange, but I am grateful that winter is coming. It's kind of a weird thing to say, especially if you know anything about Game of Thrones. Winter is coming is this sort of warning that the hard times are ahead. However, for me, living in Texas, I don't like the heat of summer. I don't. But I'm looking forward to it cooling off. And I mean, it never gets too extremely cold here, generally speaking. But I look forward to it. I look forward to winter. And so I'm grateful that winter is coming, because it's a time to sort of cool down. And in that cool down process, it's sort of like my mind clears up. It's really interesting. Earlier this year, back in January, we had this huge cold snap where, we had single-digit temperatures. That is fucking weird in West Central Texas. We had days when the highs were 9 degrees. No joke. And this happened non-consecutively for about 2 weeks. We had it with a huge cold snap for like a week, and then it heated back up into the 50s, 60s. I think there was even a couple of days where it got into the 70s, and then the next week it was back down into, the teens and the 9, and, oh my gosh, it was crazy. But the interesting thing is when that happened, before that happened, I had one of the darkest periods of my life. I was passively suicidal. I was not actively suicidal. I wasn't actively trying to kill myself. I wasn't actively thinking of ways to kill myself, but I was passively thinking, man, I wish I would die. I would cross the street and I'd almost get run over, and my reaction would be, man, I just can't catch a break. I was passively suicidal at that time. But when we had that cold snap, something happened in my brain. And I realized I didn't want to be that way anymore. And I started turning some things around. Now, probably to a lot of my family, they haven't noticed the difference. And I don't blame them. But to me, it's been just to look back on where I was